Now, today we will be debunking a few myths about Shane, the famous Jack Shaefer story. It's a Western written in the 1950s, so it's technically thus a revisionist Western. Please note we're using the novel rather than the movie for a couple of reasons. First of all, the novel is the original piece, and secondly, the movie. Well, if we were to use clips from that, then there'd be copyright issues, so we're not taking any risks. And we'll just go with the book for the moment. Now, in all fairness, even though we've got the book here, the myths are both about the movie. So I'll have to explain the differences as we go along. Now, the first myth was created by the famous American stage philosopher, Mr. William Melvin Hicks, who in his stand-up comedy routine would make reference to the movie Shane, and specifically the bit whenever the villain, Wilson, is played by Jack Palance, would pick a fight with one of the townsfolk, one of the farmers, and then shoot the guy dead and claim it was self-defense. And the reference that Hicks used was Jack Palance throws the gun down and says, "Pick up the gun. Pick it up. Pick up the gun." "Oh, I don't want to, Mr. Wilson." "Pick up the gun." "Okay, then." Bang! I had to shoot him. Yeah, he had a gun. So, yes, now that doesn't actually happen. If we look at the book here, what happens in the book is that Wilson calls the victim by some racially charged terminology, which was not used in the movie, as I recall, not for political correctness reasons, but because they thought it would be more visually interesting for them for Wilson to shoot at the victim's feet and make him dance at gunpoint, as it were, and then this provoked the victim then into pulling his weapon. And then Wilson then had the pretext to shoot the guy dead and claim it was self-defense. Now, that's page, 86 there of this copy. And again, neither the book, nor the movie has the pick up the gun bit. So the problem is that pick up the gun does sound authentic. It does resonate with the whole Western genre. So the question is, where did this come from? Where did Hicks get it from? And after some research, I watched a lot of John Wayne movies, a lot of different clips. There are certain John Wayne movies. I think El Dorado is one of them, where he forces a bad guy at gunpoint to do something, which is a bit morally dubious. But it's John Wayne, so he's allowed to do that. If it was Clint Eastwood, then people would say that, Eastwood's the bad guy or whatever, morally dubious, but John Wayne gets away with it. But the reality is that the scene seems to have actually come from a John Wayne movie called The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. And technically, John Wayne isn't really in that scene because Liberty Valance, the title character, or the character alluded to in the title, is played by Lee Marvin, and then the man who gets the credit for shooting him is Jimmy Stewart, Brigadier General Jim Stewart of the United States Army Air Force. So anyway, Jimmy Stewart is there, and he's trying to shoot Lee Marvin, Liberty Valance, and he drops the gun or he gets a shot out of his hands, and then Lee Marvin, pick it up. And eventually he picks it up and gets his shot off, and Liberty Valance falls dead. But again, how would that look, if Bill Hicks was trying to compare US foreign policy to the famous death scene of Liberty Valance? And of course, to complicate things. Yes, Liberty Valance doesn't actually. Well, it's complicated. Don't want to spoil it for you. It's a great movie. You should watch it. The other great myth to do with Shane is from the movie The Negotiator. The story that Shane slumps down in the end. As he's riding off into the sunset, he slumps down the saddle. And, well, in the movie The Negotiator, that was like 1998, Samuel L. Jackson and Kevin Spacey have this argument over, was he dead or not? Did he ride off and he died from his wounds? Now, he was wounded in the fight, but certainly it's made clear. Where are we? Apologies. It's not clear in the movie because Shane doesn't slump at all. He rides off and he rides off into the shadows, and that's it. And but here in the book, let's see. Yeah, the problem is the book is written from the child's perspective. So unfortunately, this is not my book, so I didn't want to use a highlighter pen on it and destroy it. But anyway, here we are. But in the book, let's see, page 113, Shane was looking down the road and onto the open plain, and the horse was obeying the silent command of the reins. He was riding away, and I knew that no word or thought could hold him. The big horse, patient and powerful, was already settling into the steady pace that had brought him into our valley, and the two, the man and the horse, were a single dark shape in the road as they passed beyond the reach of the light from the window. And that's it. He just rides off into the shadows, same as in the movie, and there's no slumping. So I think that the whole thing about Shane dies in the end is I think it's basically just made up for that movie, The Negotiator. It's not a real thing, which is, I suppose, a bit of a cop-out, really, that they couldn't, like, in the post-Tarantino era of the 90s, you know, I mean, couldn't the writer have actually found an actual Western, you know, where there was an actual ambiguous ending, rather than just taking something like Shane and making it seem ambiguous? But anyway, it's very sad. But there we are. Two myths about the movie and based on the book Shane that have been debunked now. And please, if you enjoyed this, please like, follow, and subscribe. And if you didn't like it, or even if you did, you can leave a comment in the comment section below. Thank you very much. Goodbye.